And welcome to another broadcast of What in the Entire Fuck is Going On Tuesday. That's not really the name of it, but it seemed to be very appropriate. So I thought we would just run with it. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I was so busy this weekend. I did like home improvement projects. I have muscles now that I didn't have on Friday from lifting metal shelving, and I put this big shelf rack up in my kitchen, so I put all my cooking appliances and utensils up there. It looks pretty good. It's much more organized now. But enough about me. I hope you guys are doing well and that you're ready for tonight's show. For those of you who are new here, you are on the Debsterism channel here on YouTube. My name is Deborah Cooper. I've been an advice columnist. I write books on dating, relationship. I've probably written at least 1,000 articles on one various form or another of dating and relationships as well, which you can find up on my blogs and surviving dating and askheartbeat.com. And so we come here, we make it here every Tuesday for this show. What happens is people write in their advice questions, right? And I used to print them in a column on the blog, but now I do a video of them. So I read them aloud and then I answer them right on the spot. I have my trusty cousin who is my assistant. She helps me with she reviews the emails and puts them into this document so that when I come on the air, I read them to you guys and then we just roll with it. And I can do that shit because I have almost 30 years of experience in doing this. So I can do something that you can't. So there you go. All right, so let's get started. First letter. Wait, let's see how many we had this week. Woo, we have 15. I know. Okay, it's really 14 and then a bonus question. Oh, hey, the reader. What's going on? Readers over on Twitch watching us. All right, so let's go here. Let's go to question number one. This is a young woman. She's in the 26 to 35 age group from Atlanta. She says, "Hi, Deb. My best friend and I took a vacation to Brazil this year. On our first night, we met an overly friendly British girl who kept offering to buy us drinks while we were hanging out by the pool. At first, I thought she just needed company because she was there alone. She claimed she was there for a sexcapade with black Brazilian men and wasn't shy about sharing all the gory details, so I was happy to listen to all her crazy stories. However, things took a turn when she offered my friend and I some weed, which she said was in her room. I turned it down, expecting my friend to do the same, but my friend agreed to taking the weed, so the girl left to presumably go to her room to get it for her. Deb, number one, I don't smoke, but no judgment. Number two, her whole vibe was off. And number three, I thought it might be a sting operation, and I'm too cute to be in a Brazilian jail. I heard that. While that girl was gone, I tried to convince my friend that this was not a good idea, but she was hell bent on accepting the weed, so I excused myself and started walking away, telling her that in case of anything, I was not going to jail with her. To cut a long story short, my best friend did take the weed and she brought it to our room too. And was mad at me because I left her while she was waiting for her weed. She was particularly hurt because I told her that if she were arrested, she would be going to jail alone. I love her, but I cannot understand why she would expect me to go to jail with her over her weed. Did I break some dumb chick code or something? Because I'm not sorry. P.S. She comes from a very wealthy family and can afford to be reckless, but I've had to work for everything I have. Deb, I can't afford bail money with the student loans I have to pay off. Was I wrong? Absolutely fucking not. And your friend is stupid. You need to never go nowhere with her again unless it's like local. You know what I mean? Where you can like take a Uber and get your ass out the situation or go run to your car or something like that. This girl is crazy and she has no sense of safety about herself or at all. And she would be putting you in a dangerous situation. Okay, let me tell you how this game goes. The brothers get the white girl or any kind of female, right, that's about your age group, and they send her over there to do the work, to get you comfortable, to get you relaxed, to ply you with drinks and entice you with something that they think that you like. It's going to be weed, it's going to be pills, it's going to be cocaine, it's going to be something that they feel like, you would enjoy, and you offering it up for free. So, most, I'm sorry to say, niggas love free shit. So what her game was to get you to the room. Okay, that was the real goal. But since you were not participating and were unwilling, she did the next best thing, which was try to go get the weed. And went in there, told the dudes it was a no go, and so they, sent her out with the weed. She was stupid to even smoke it because she don't know what's up in it. See, that's just what were you think? I mean, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your friend. What in the world was she thinking? I mean, you were thinking, that she was going to go to jail and stuff like that. See, I'm thinking worse, like you would never be seen again, kind of situation. And I'm glad you had enough sense to pay attention to the vibe. Your protective female instinct was ringing and telling you that this was a danger Will Robinson moment. And so you listened. Good job. The fact that you were very protective of yourself, excellent. The fact that your friend is stupid, don't go nowhere with her anymore. And the fact that she could have either been abducted, raped, gang raped, or worse, you know what I mean? That was going to be a situation that she was going to have to end up in by herself. I'm sorry. But, you can show her this clip and let her know how stupid she was and the stupid dumbass risk she took in a foreign country with some bitch she don't even know shit about, with some drugs that she don't know shit about. Your friend is stupid and she's very, very naive. And if she's in the same age group as you, 26 to 35, and she this dumb, I'm telling you, her number is gonna come up real soon. These folks aren't playing out here. You cannot be living like that, just all reckless and wild and stupid, and trusting everything that somebody gives you. You better don't trust her. Cause see now that she knows that you're gonna leave her, she would be setting your ass up too. Don't trust. You got a friend like this is gonna get mad at you about some stuff like that. Don't trust this bitch nowhere. Don't go nowhere with her. No more, no more. I mean, I'm just like got the creeps right now. There's something wrong with your friend and something wrong with that white girl. That whole situation was all kinds of fucked up. All y'all should have got up. You should your friend should have got up and walked the fuck away from that girl and said it was nice meeting you, whatever. But we here, we just want to be by ourselves or whatever, and dismissed her ass. Don't do that anymore. If the couple's not old and like on the crutches and shit, where they can't get you, then you don't even really need to be dealing with them too much. Oh, this was a dangerous situation for them to be in. Just super dangerous. Thank you for writing in, and hopefully that will serve, because it sets a page for, because maybe summertime, right? So a whole bunch of people young women gonna be on the road traveling. This is a great letter for them to be able to use as an example of what not to do. And hopefully, save their life. And we won't be looking for somebody, on the news talking about somebody turned up missing at some resort in Brazil or Panama or some Mexico City or something like that because they was dumb like your friend. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Hey, everybody. Down for the cray. Yeah, ooh. Question number 2. This is from a woman, 26 to 35, from Dublin, Ireland. Ireland? I'm really angry with my boyfriend right now. Maybe a little too angry, I guess. But my mom and my siblings, as well as all my beautiful nieces and nephews, mean the world to me. Okay, so this girl's very, very family oriented. When it comes to my mama, who has raised 8 kids on her own all her life, I will do whatever it is my mother needs of me and more. My boyfriend says I love my mom too much. What the fuck? How in the world can you love a parent too much? Anyway, my mom has been having car problems for a few months now, and I've been asking my boyfriend for too long if he could please check it out. But he always has something to do. I forgot to mention that he fixes diesels. He does mechanical work on semis. He knows how to build a motorcycle from the ground up. So it's not like I'm asking him to do something he doesn't know how to do. Okay. Last week, my mom came into some money, and my mom has always struggled all my life watching her as I was growing up. She worked 2 jobs to feed us kids by herself. She didn't even buy herself anything ever. I've never seen my mom still to this day buy herself anything. I'm 29, I'll be 30, and in 3 days the youngest is 17. He's still at home with my mom, so I don't like my mom to struggle, and she's barely making it. I don't ask for anything from my mother, and I would never want to take anything from her, whether she gives it to me or not, because she's given me everything all my life as a kid. I like her attitude. It's my job to take care of my mom now that I'm older and I'm able to. Just the other day, my boyfriend went to my mom's house to finally fix her car. At one point, they went to the store, my mom and boyfriend, to get the part that they ordered. I stayed at the house with my little brother. When they got back, my mom comes over and tries to hand me $100 bill. I look at her and tell her, "Oh hell no!" And she looks at me and says that he said he'll fix it for $150. What the fuck? At this point, my blood is boiling. He knows how I feel about my mom. He knows better than to take her money. He has been my boyfriend for not one, not two, and not 3 years, but for freaking 11 years, Deb, and I raised his 2 kids. He has the audacity to charge my mother for putting in a power steering pump when he fixes people's cars all the time for free. He does things for his friends all the time for free, but my mother he charges. I know I'm not wrong for being angry, and I definitely want to leave him. Yes, this may sound crazy to some people, but that's my room, my mom. And if you could do things for other people, but you can't do things for my mother, then you don't deserve me, and you don't deserve my love. Ooh, testify. I love this woman. I just want to know if I'm over exaggerating too much. I know that I'm not wrong for being upset. I love my mother more than anything in the world. Honey, if I could give you a hug and a round of applause, I would. What you have is a dusty ass motherfucker who's selfish and he just wants to take. Okay. So you know he want to charge your mother this $150 before you break up with him. This is what you do. You figure out how much babysitting costs per hour for 2 kids and give his ass a bill for all them thousands of dollars for the time that you spent raising his 2 fucking kids. And then you cuss him out and you say, this is how you do? You think you gonna just take all this stuff? I'ma take your fucking ass to court now and I want you better give me all my fucking money. You have enough nerve to be trying to charge a mother $150 when you owe me this thousands and thousands of dollars for doing what I did for you, and you can't do some shit for my mother that'll take your ass an hour at the most. See, you good because he would have got cussed the fuck out right there on the spot. I'm sorry it would have happened in front of my mother. I would have just had to apologize to her later, but he would have got read the riot act. I would have talked about him, his nappy headed fucked up little kids, the baby mama who had him, his mother and father for having him and making him such a trifling piece of shit. I would have went down his whole lineage and all of them would have got fucking cussed out. Girl, you right to break up with him because his heart is not in, he ain't in your corner. He's not in your corner. He don't give a fuck about you. What you are to him is a convenience. Even after 11 years, you finally see the light. Or maybe he changed. I don't know, but you never, the fact that you had to ask him for so long and he wasn't like jumping at the bait, that should have told you something right there. You shouldn't have had to ask him more than one time. By the time you mentioned that your mother was having car problems, he got her number after 11 years. He could have called her himself. He's a piece of shit. You right to get rid of his ass. Let's see what they saying in the chat room. Oh no, he would have got fucking cussed the fuck out. Yeah, I mean, I've been getting letters all over from all over, reader. We got a bunch of people from England on the page now. From the UK rather, and then Canada, of course, always been around. That's where we got Sue from. Nerd Incognito Sue, one of our new moderators. She's from Canada. All right, let's go on to question number 3 because that shit pissed me off. Hold on, I need a swig. I'm not drinking plain wine. I did put some of my LaCroix in there, so it's like what they call this a spritzer. This a spritzer. I'm just so disgusted with this motherfucker right now. All right, question number 3. Female, 19 to 26 from the USA. My boyfriend seems to make a fuss if I wear something that is too short, tight, revealing, and other men look at me. He gets mad with me, telling me if you're going to wear that, what do you expect? He has always made me feel like this is something that is my fault and told me it's disrespectful to dress sexy if I have a partner. A workmate of mine wanted me to join her for a pole dancing workout class recently. It always looked like so much fun, and I was so excited to go with her. But when I got home and told my boyfriend, he was very disapproving. What will I tell my family if they have a dinner one night and you're out at one of your so-called classes? Again, he labeled it as a disrespectful thing to do. I explained I would not be up there dancing for men in my G-string, but in a room with a group of women in sweatpants. He still wouldn't budge. a part of me feels like he's right, especially when he makes me feel so guilty about wanting to do these things. Another part of me wants to tell him I'm my own person, not his property, and I'll do whatever I want. I am so confused. I don't know whether to feel bad or outraged. What do you think? Feel outraged. Why do you have to ask for permission to get mad? You know this shit is wrong. That's why you wrote this letter. You start doing what the fuck you want to do. And don't tell your boyfriend you don't need his permission. And you need to learn how to cuss motherfuckers out. I need to give a class in cussing, cussing men out. Because y'all don't do enough of it. Soon as you tell him, excuse me, you tell him what you want to do, and he starts trying to come up with something, what you need to do is say, stop talking, because you confused about something, motherfucker. You thought I was asking you for permission. I'm not asking for permission. I'm just merely informing you. Okay, there's a difference between asking for permission and just informing you. I'm going to do this whether you like it or not, so just get over it. And if you don't like it, that's just really too bad. I don't know what to tell you because you ain't my daddy and you don't tell me what to do. And you ain't my husband. I don't really give a fuck what you think. And so, you here because I want you to be here. And anytime I decide that your ass is too much trouble, you causing me too much grief and drama, and you too controlling, and you getting on my fucking nerves too much, then you won't be here. And that's what you need to understand. You need to walk lightly, motherfucker. What I like, you better like it too. When I want to do something, you better drive me there to do it. And when I talk about how fun it is, you better clap your hands and say Hercules, Hercules. That's what your role is. I don't want to hear shit else from you. And you all need to shut this shit down. I mean, why do you just sit there and let them talk to you crazy like that? I want to talk about, with your dress is too short and too tight. Motherfucker, this is what I was wearing when you met me. So all of a sudden it's like it's too much. And you mad because other men look at me? They look at me because I'm a beautiful woman. What you think? You want me to look like a troll? Then you wouldn't want me either. So shut up. Enjoy the view while you can, because you keep talking like this, motherfucker, you're going to be in my rearview mirror. Keep it up. Keep the shit up. We don't know that he's cheating. Stop that. We don't do that here. We don't come up with some fantasy in our mind and give that to the clients as a reality. That's not a reality. That's something that's coming up in your life. And so you putting it on her. You don't know anything about what this man is doing. What he is doing though is trying to control her. That is in evidence. So, but it doesn't matter whether he's cheating, fucking 20 bitches, or not fucking anybody at all. That's not the point. The point is how he's talking to and treating this woman. Everything else that you all might be coming up with your mind about why he's doing it, you don't have any facts to that. So I do not do that. Okay, I don't talk about what some shit I'm creating in my mind about what some nigga might be, maybe could possibly be doing. I stick to what he is doing. And in this case, he's, trying to control her, and she's feeling like she knows she's angry, but she's afraid to be. So that's why she's asking for permission from me to be upset. And obviously you need to be upset, and you need to be like go into a fury rage at his ass and cuss him the fuck out. And you're not confused. You just like scared. That's all you are. Women say they confused when they scared because they know the outcome could be that the guy will break up. But you know what? That leaves you free to find somebody with some good goddamn sense, because this ain't the one. And the more that you bend to his will, the more he's going to put the screws to you until pretty soon you not doing nothing, going nowhere, and wearing a potato sack because, other than that, he's going to say you just too sexy. You need to get rid of that motherfucker. Question number 4. Number 4. She's from, she's 26 to 35 from Springdale, Maryland. I've been reading your blog and watching you on YouTube for years, and I would like your advice. Wait a minute, how old is this? I'm 34 and I was hired as an employment manager for a nonprofit in September of 2018. This is my first management position. A 50-something-year-old man was hired in October of 2018 as a coordinator. So let's see, September, October. So she'd been there a month. The first week he was hired, he voluntarily spoke to everyone on the team about he had acquired so many jobs over the years without a college degree. He then went on to say how anytime he hears that someone has a degree, he takes their job. Interesting. Eventually, he discovered that I have a college degree, and I noticed he soon started to be rude to me. If I had an opinion, he would scoff at it and then start to give me instructions as if he were my manager. He even snapped at me in front of colleagues and then reported the behavior to our boss because they felt uncomfortable. I distanced myself and went to sit in a private room to avoid him. I didn't tell our boss because I thought it would blow over. He then discovered that I had a placement goal for securing jobs our boss was working on. He called me into a room to discuss my quota, and I declined to discuss it. He then said he already knew my quota because my boss told him and said it would be very high. He said there would be changes coming that he couldn't disclose. I asked my boss in a one on one about my placement goals being discussed with him, and she said she never did and asked if we had been having issues. I expressed my concerns. We were told to work things out and get along. Okay, so then she says I had a 6 month review. I was given high marks, but in the notes, told to not engage in department drama. I didn't understand why this was written, but let it go as to not come across as a whiner. 2 months later, he was promoted to director. Since becoming my boss, he's made false accusations against me twice, saying that two of the sites I managed had complained about me. I looked into it, and they had no idea what I was talking about. I then went to him to request us going to speak to them together, and he declined. He would also introduce me as an employment specialist when I'm a manager. In a one on one last week, he made a comment about how he was given authority to make changes he wanted to the team with his promotion, and if he wanted, I wouldn't be there. I don't know what to do. I'm not happy because I have a boss with poor character and upper management okay with this. I've read your recommendation to stay at a job for at least 2 years, but I'm dissatisfied with how this company handles things. I don't know if I can do that. They know I was being honest, otherwise, my complaint wouldn't have been corroborated. I believe if I go to HR, I'll be blamed again. He will deny any wrongdoing. I've documented all the notable exchanges that have occurred. I'm an avid reader of your blog. Please advise me which direction to go. I really hope you understand. First of all, you need to grow a pair. Okay, you cannot be a black woman in any corporate situation where you run and hide when you see some fuckery coming your way. That is a no-no. The fact that you didn't speak up and you let this shit go over like that. Let me tell you how you. This is for the future. Okay, what you're gonna have to do now is just leave this company. There's no way about to get your resume together and get out. You've been there since October, and so that's what 6, 7. Wait, October, no, wait, no, you started September. He started October. September, October, November, December, that's 4 months. January, February, March, April, that's 8 months. Oh, that's plenty of time. Get your resume polished up, put everything on there that you did, and then leave. That's what you need to do. Don't worry about the 2 years. That's ideal, but that's not going to happen in every case. But you've been there close to a year. That's long enough to deal with this shit. Now, let me tell you how you need to handle stuff like this in the future, and this goes for anybody else listening to this video. Okay, one thing that you do not do is let some motherfucker come into your job and bully you. Okay, let me go over what you said. He was hired. Okay, he spoke to everyone on the team how he had, acquired so many jobs over the years without a degree. Then he says he has a degree. He takes a job. Okay, at that moment you were supposed to say, "I have a degree." So what you gonna do about it? In front of everybody. You don't sit there and just cower in fear, waiting for him to attack you. Okay, that was one. So then he started to be rude to me. When he's rude, you say, "Why are you being rude to me?" And you loud talk his ass. I notice you treat everybody else nicely, but you want to be rude to me. What's the purpose of that? What is it you hope to gain from that behavior? And just loud talking. And it's not you're asking questions. See, that's when you do in a situation like this, you don't make accusations. You don't make statements. You ask questions. And that way nobody can ever say that you were being rude or you were being, confrontational or anything. But that all you can say, because you can always say, "I was just trying to figure out why he was doing what he was doing," and play the innocent card. "I was asking because I was really curious. I was confused. I didn't understand." You play that role. The white girls be good at that shit. I've seen it do it in corporate America. And then when they really get jammed up, then they start to cry. And they usually turns things in their favor. I wouldn't do that. I never cry. I make other people cry. But if tears work for you, that's always good too. Turn the waterworks on. But in this case, okay, he snapped at you in front of colleagues. So what you were supposed to do in front of the colleagues is say, "That was uncalled for. Don't you ever talk to me like that again. You're disrespectful, and it's just ridiculous that you would think that this appropriate behavior in the office. You're almost 50 years old. You're supposed to know better than that. I'm half your age, and I know better than that." Start to clown his ass. Then let me see what else. You went to sit in a private room to avoid him, and you didn't tell your boss. You were supposed to go straight to your boss with all your coworkers trailing behind you to tell on him. That's what you were supposed to do. And then you say that, he called you in a private room. Why would you go in a private room with this motherfucker who's already treating you this way? What were you thinking that was going to come bit good from the situation like that? And I don't want you to think I'm trying to blame you for what happened. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm trying to do is show you where you made some mistakes in handling this so you don't make those same mistakes in the future. Okay, the only way that you got to understand what you did wrong is if I explain it to you. So that's why I'm doing this. And like I said, this goes for anybody else listening too. One thing I'm good at is political games, honey. And so it's just, I cut my teeth at 16 in some cutthroat brokerage firm in downtown San Francisco. I never seen so much bullshit in my life. Because they was up to some rich New York Jews on that company. And they was out of control. The backstabbing and the machinations, man. And that's who, those are people who taught me corporate politics. So I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so your whole team was supposed to march in that office right when it happened and tattle like motherfuckers on his ass because they obviously had your back because they went to the person. You should have went and advocated for yourself too. You gonna let them care more about what happened to you than you do? See, no. And then your boss, he completely denied everything. Of course, he was going to deny everything. That's why you should have done it when you had all those people and it had just happened. He wouldn't have been able to deny it with 12, 10, 5, each 3 people saying, no, this is what we just heard. He just said it just now. Okay, what's your manager going to say? Except to say, that don't be doing that and write his ass up. Get along. What is this, fucking kindergarten? Okay, then you get this note on your review, and you didn't understand what was written, but you let it go. You're not supposed to let stuff like that go. You're supposed to write a counter rebuttal to it and say, what really has happened with all these notes that you have, and say to put this on your review is inappropriate and you want it removed. That's what you're supposed to do. And by the time he got promoted, that's when you should have been up out of there. Okay, because you took all of this abuse from this man and then you stayed there. So no, get your resume polished up and get the fuck up out of there. And in your exit interview, be sure to tell them how fucked they are. Question number 5. This is from a woman, 19 to 26, from France. Hi, Deborah. Thank you in advance for taking the time for me. I tried to figure out this, but I can't figure it out by myself. I left my mother's house for the second and last time because of extreme verbal abuse and now physical abuse. I had to let her go. Whoa, physical abuse. My issue is that when I left, I ended up in a hospital for a week and then I was homeless. My other relatives are worse than her. My mother hit me out of jealousy. I decided to take better care of myself to have better treatment in general and to attract older rich men. She felt threatened by me and thought I wanted to steal her 42-year-old broke boyfriend. She is 39, I'm almost 20. My issue is she kept my passport. I tried to come back to take it while she was at work, but I couldn't find it, and she refused to give it back to me. I stole $1,000 of hers. It was only for survival. It's been 8 months now, and I have no contacts with her ever since. Now I make enough money to give her money back. I want to move forward in life and get my passport back. I just don't know how to approach her. She's very aggressive and unpredictable. First, I thought to not go alone and hire a bodyguard for the day. Any thoughts on how I should handle this? Mail her a money order or check or cashier's check. That's what I say. You don't need to go up in that house, and you don't need a bodyguard either. What you need to do is, I don't know what they have there. I mean, you have a bank account or what, you can get a cashier check from your bank, or you could just go to like a check cashing type of place, well, here they sell them at the post office. I don't know what they do in France. I'm just saying you want to get something that's from a place where that's not connected with you. Okay, you don't want her to have like your bank account number, your address, your phone number, nothing like that. You want to send her this money order, whatever thing, cashier's check, in the mail, and then what you want to do is take your little ass down to the passport office and file for a replacement passport because your other one was lost or stolen. It's very simple. That's a very easy process. There's no reason to be going through all these changes about the other passport. Because they'll cancel that number, so nobody will be able to use it. So you get a new passport, a new number, and there you go. You're just going with your life. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I don't know what's involved because I don't live in France. I don't know those details. But I do know that it is possible to get a replacement passport for every country in this world that issues them. So there is no reason for you to be having any angst or hiring a bodyguard and causing a bunch of bullshit and drama to go up in that woman's house and start a bunch of shit about a passport. Just get a new one. Plus, you don't want that one anyway. She probably spit on it or something, wiped her ass on it or something. Got some kind of dreadful cootiness going on. Yeah, into the O. Exactly. Just, you're going to cut ties. You leave all the shit that's at her house over there. Don't worry about it. Give her money back. Make sure you keep the receipt. And then, just go on with your life. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is sometimes when you have crazy mamas. It's just what it is. How could it cost thousands of dollars for a replacement passport? Well, whatever it costs, it's going to be less than hiring a bodyguard and getting your ass beat by your mother for coming to her house. The hospital bills again, all this stuff. I mean, I don't really care how much it costs. Save the money up and get it because your ass ain't going nowhere anyway because you don't have no money. So you save your money up and just pay the fee. Whatever it costs, pay it. Yeah, it is a crime, but chances are she's not gonna want to press charges on her mother. I don't know. I mean, with me, I wouldn't have no problem with it, but everybody's not me. So, but if she doesn't want to do that and get it because there's no reason, the mother could always say she threw it away or something. Then what you gonna do? In the meantime, you don't spend all this money and energy hiring a bodyguard and doing all this stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's not worth it. Just move on. Go save up your money and figure out how much it costs and whatever you need to do to get a replacement, and then just do that. Question number 6. This is from one young woman, 19 to 26, from Miami. I'm a 26-year-old female. I've been in a relationship for 3 years, and my boyfriend is decent. Overall, he says a lot of nice things that make me feel beautiful and wanted. This would not be enough. This would be enough, rather, for many people. However, this is just not enough for me. I know I sound terrible, and I'm not blaming him, but I need even more validation. I can tell I'm not going to like this letter. Most would consider him a nice looking guy, which helps my ego since I feel good that I bagged a guy like that. A lot of girls wanted him back when we were all single. We fight sometimes, but things are good overall. As bizarre as this may sound, sometimes I wish I had met him when I was closer to 30, so I could have spent more of my 20s dating more and got more positive attention. I find myself posting somewhat provocative photos on social media like Instagram and Facebook in search of validation, and I've been somewhat successful. But I'm quickly learning that many of those that are liking, commenting on my photos are robots that follow hashtags to sell crap as opposed to real people. So now I'm kind of over Instagram right now. I've gotten some comments from real people across the country and world, which makes me feel happy, but I never pursue them. Honestly, I'm not looking to cheat on my boyfriend. I really don't care about sex at all. I was a thick, sort of nerdy looking girl most of my life, but I lost a lot of weight and consider myself to be beautiful now. Again, I'm 26 and my subconscious feels a bit sad about getting older, so maybe I'm trying to milk as much of my youth as possible. I feel like I have to make up for lost time. I don't think I'd ever cheat on my boyfriend, but I need, and she put that in caps, to feel beautiful and wanted, or else I don't feel happy. It really gets me upset when I see more attractive people getting pursued and complimented and not me. I went to this party where me and this other girl were probably among the most attractive ones there, and the guys were after her, and I really wanted to cry, but I just forced a smile for the remainder of the party. My boyfriend was not there. Do I have low self-esteem? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? You crazy. Do you have low esteem? Girl, your self-esteem is low, so low you can't even count it as self-esteem. It's not even on the register. It don't register at all, not even at zero. It don't. It's under the zero. So what you have is, you spend a lot of time, I guess, being rejected and looked over and stuff because you felt like because you were fat when you were growing up. Do you know that there's all kinds of big girls that have wonderful friends and lots of family? People love them. They go places. They have boyfriends. They have husbands. I mean, the size isn't the thing. Your size was not what was fucking you up. It was your mind that was fucking you up. And as you notice, even now that you've lost all the weight and you consider yourself to be beautiful, your mind is still all kinds of fucked up. You need to get yourself a therapist. That's what you need. Because there's no person in this world is going to fill that dark, empty hole in your soul that you have there that you're looking for other people to make you feel like you're a human being and that you're worth something. There's no man in this world that's going to be able to do that. You're going to exhaust them. You're like a spiritual vampire. And so you just sucking the blood out of everybody around you. And when they don't want to give you any blood, then you fall into this deep funk. That's no kind of way to live your life. You have to figure out how to fill your own void, look in the mirror and love what you see back, and you're not there. And so at 26, you on the downstroke to 30. You better get your shit together. Because by the time you hit, that's why you're afraid of this aging thing, because you feel like by the time you hit 30, which is what all these little MGTOW dudes be talking about, people hitting walls and whatnot at the age of 30, you're going to feel like, well, I don't really measure up now. I'm old and I'm not attractive and I need all this stuff. So you're gonna really just be like practically suicidal. That's what's gonna happen to you. You better get yourself on somebody's couch real quick and get this fixed. I don't know what to tell you about it. I'm not supposed to practice medicine, so I'm not going to be giving you like diagnoses and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to point you in the direction of a professional that can help you in a way that I cannot. Because, it's great that you have this boyfriend and he's great that he pays you attention and all this stuff, but your neediness is just like, it's just like nauseating. It's so much for anybody. It'd be too much for anybody to handle. And he'll end up getting sick of that shit and leaving your ass. And then what you gonna do? Oh my God. This is just unbelievable. And the fact that she, doesn't have no problem admitting it. Let me turn my light on since it's getting a little darkened in here. Okay. Um, You're listening to What the Fuck Tuesday. And I'm just like, oh my God, these people, there's something wrong with them. What's happening here? What the Fuck Tuesday is a live stream relationship advice show where people send in their advice questions. I read them on the air and then I respond to them off the cuff in real time. If you want your letter submitted to What the Fuck Tuesday for one of the coming weeks, there will be a link down below in the this description page. Just click that. It'll take you right to the submission form. Fill it out and press send. And then you will be getting your question, reviewing it. And if it, something that we think has widespread appeal, it will appear in the column. Okay? The reader's talking about my slap yourself move. Yeah, because she definitely needs something to wake her up. This is terrible. I think I did look my best at 30. Because, when I was a kid, I don't know. I was just gangly, a little tomboy, skinny, just no hips, just no shape, just straight up and down. But, I could run like the wind. It was just unbelievable. Strong legs, I could bike up hills and stuff. And they only had like no speed bikes in them days, or 3 speed if you was lucky. And we could ride all up and down them hills in San Francisco. So, my legs were strong as hell. And I used to knock out 5, 7, 8 miles like it was nothing running. But I was just a string bean, a little stick. So it wasn't until I got, about 30 years old that I started looking, more curvy. So I thought that's when I looked the best. So I don't know about the rest of y'all. This my cheek. My cheeks were so fat when I was younger. They still fat. I think I'll probably die with fat cheeks. This is just terrible. 36 is when you got to put in work. You really don't if you take care of your skin. Start if you're in your 20s now, make sure you use at least, if you're black, at least SPF 15 sunblock under everything all the time under your makeup. They have moisturizers with that in it. And if you're a very fair skinned person, light skinned black woman, Latina, Asian, white girl, y'all need heavier, like 30, 35 or up SPF, and that sun will fuck you up. That's the main thing you need to watch out for. And when you handle your skin, don't be scrubbing your face. Use gentle motions. But we'll talk about that another time. But you can keep your skin looking really nice for a long time, and you don't have to, you don't have to worry about your looking old too fast. All right, let's talk about question number 7. This is from a woman 36 to 45 out of New York. My dusty ex, she says, has invaded the peaceful sanctuary I call home. Wait a minute, how did this happen? I'm not sure if this is some kind of cruel trick the universe is playing on me or if this nig nog did this shit intentionally. 10 years ago, against my better judgment, I dated a guy who lived in my building. It started well and ended horribly. The argument started over the fact that I wanted to get married and have kids, and he did not. It ended when I found out he was cheating on me. I was so upset and felt like I had just wasted 5 years of my life I couldn't get back, plus my baby making days were over. It could have been worse, but the previous year he had moved out into an apartment closer to his job, so at least he wasn't in the same building anymore or even in the same part of town. After the split, he stalked me on Facebook for a while, making sarcastic comments on my posts until I blocked and unfriended him. A year or so after that, I ran into one of his friends who told me, even though I didn't ask, that he had gotten married, which made me even angrier. Now, 3 years later, this is where the horror story starts. Come to find out, this nigga moved back into the building into the apartment above me. Can you believe it? The super who warned me not to date him told me he's living above my apartment with this heifer, his mama, who is super ghetto, and two small kids running around like a bunch of trolls with hard shoes on. At this point, I could care less about what he does, but I work from home. From 7 in the morning to 9 at night, the noise is unbearable with the running, squealing, crying, shouting, and furniture dragging. It's killing me. I made several complaints to management, but all they did was tell me they would send them a letter stating that they must get rugs or carpets, which they have yet to do. Once I left an anonymous note, but they knew it was from me, and the wife put the note back on my door with some Bible verse and a suggestion I see a therapist if I could let two little babies bother me that much. That's when I went up there and confronted her directly. There was some back and forth and got absolutely nowhere. I just don't know what to do. I thought about moving, but I love my apartment and he knows that. Plus, why would I let them push me out? I don't want to do something that could come back on me, but management is just yes yesing me and sometimes not even responding to my complaints. So what can I do? Earplugs, white noise, and noise cancellation don't work as well as I hope. Plus, I still feel the vibrations. I typically internalize my anger until it gets to a level where I can't take it anymore. Now I'm suffering the effects of high stress. My eye is twitching and I even broke out in a rash. These people are going to make me end up in jail. The super said he thinks they'll be kicked out in a year, but he's a gossip. Even if that's true, I don't know how I'm going to survive another half year of this. Deb, I know you plot out some beautifully evil solutions. Do you have a solution for this? Wait, where's she at? New York. Well, I remember reading that New York has, uh, they have noise laws, which I think most communities do, noise laws about noise in residential units. Usually they'll be talking about loud music and a lot of people running out and stuff like that. But you should take some time and look into it. What exactly does the noise ordinance about residential units say for wherever it is you are in New York? Because you say New York, I mean, what is that? New York State, New York City? You don't. This isn't really specific, so I don't know what that means. So wherever you are, just look up whatever is in your municipality. The second thing you can do is what you have to do is provide people in order to start your paper trail, going up there yelling at people and all that stuff. And that's not how you do leaving notes, anonymous notes. That's not how you do it. You put your name, you date it, you list the complaints, and you give them the letter. You can mail it to them if you want to. That's proof that you did it. Send a certified mail, whatever you want to do. But you have to have certain proof that you mailed them this letter. Keep a copy. Then you send a letter to your management company and you set out exactly what the complaints are and the dates and the promises that were made about carpeting. Tell them that you're going to withhold your rent and you put it in a trust account. Again, find out what's going on in your municipality, but this is standard issue practice everywhere. You withhold the rent until they fix the problem, which they have given you promises that they were going to do and they have not done it. So you withhold the rent until they do. Then what you're going to do, you're going to be collecting all of this evidence, right? All of these complaints, file a complaint with your city, whatever, and then they usually have the police come out. But you have to do your written notice first. Request it to cease and desist with all the noise. You work at home, it's disturbing you, this and that. Oh, I forgot the main thing too is look in your lease. You got to make sure read it carefully, line by line. Usually in leases, there's something in there about like quiet enjoyment of your premises and stuff like that. And they usually don't have hours either. You're entitled to quiet enjoyment every moment of every day while you're in your unit. So read your lease carefully and see what it says about that. And when you write your letter to your the owners of your building, be sure to quote that part of the lease and say that these tenants are in violation of it, and they promised you to they were going to try to rectify it, but this carpet situation, yet they have done nothing. This problem has been going on ongoing. It's starting to affect your health. It's affecting your income because you work from home, and they, and all of this stuff. Put the money in the account, and then when they don't do what they're supposed to be doing, so then you can take them to small claims court. You can sue them for that. You can sue them for lost wages. You can sue them for medical bills, and you can sue them for whatever else you want to add on there, and they'll have to pay it. Now here, I think the lost small claims is up to $10,000. I don't know what it is in New York, but that would be the approach that I would take because I'm evil like that, and he would end up in court. You can also, you have to think about how this works because I'm not really that familiar with the laws in New York, but that sounds like a misdemeanor stalking charge to me. You might want to consult with a legal aid person. But the fact that he was bothering you on Facebook, and then after all of these years, managed to move the apartment right above you after you had an acrimonious split, and as not only is he creating wrecking havoc with in the apartment, he's using other people to help him wage this war of noise against you. So I'm thinking that might be part of it too, so you can put that in the letter too about the stalking aspect and how it's a criminal act, and the management company needs to do something about it. So, go to a legal aid place unless you have a friend who's an attorney who can draft up a really, really nicely, tightly worded, very threatening letter for your management company. They not stupid. They understand what time it is. And then the fucking motherfucking people will get an eviction notice for violation of the lease, making all that goddamn noise. And they should never have little kids over anybody. All small children need to be on the ground floor of any building that they live in. And if they ain't on the ground floor, then they don't need to be in the building. And that's just the way I feel about it. Because they want to run and shit in the house. That's just not right. Okay, so um, that's my solution to that for whatever it's worth. Oh, that no, you don't want to bang on the ceiling because see now they already know that they got her. They already know that it's bothering her. So, but her to do that is going to just give them more ammo for them to know that what they're doing is working. Don't do that. That's not the way you do it. You need to do it like I said. Go after them with the goal of making the management company get them up the fuck up out of there. So you're gonna put the management company in a noose. And so they will quickly, when they don't see their money, they going to start paying attention. And when they start getting letters from attorneys, they going to start paying attention. You know what I mean? So, right, talking about criminal charges and stalking, and they let the dude move in over you and all this kind of stuff, and all these complaints about it. But next time your super tells you something, listen. And don't ever, ever, ever date a man where you live or work. That was very foolish of you. I don't know what you did that for. Never get your honey where you make your money is rule number one of life. And then, of course, you don't want to be messing around with some fool that where you lay your head at night. That was a bad decision. All right, question number 8. Let me get a swig. My throat is dry. Yeah, Victoria, that's what I'm talking about. Little kids need to be on the ground floor or underneath the ground floor, like in a cave, because they just make too much noise. Everything is they be squealing and shit and just running about. They be excited about things. I'm not saying they can't be excited and all that, but that should never be taking place over the head of people that have to get up and go to work in the morning, or they work 10 hours and now they get a weekend to sleep in, and here's your kids waking them up at 6 o'clock in the morning, squealing and crying and banging on the floor. No. That's a quick way to be, having your floor shot up. All right, question number 8. We got 8 of 15 questions here today, people. This is a lot. We went up from like 12 to 13, then to 14, and now I'm at 15. My cousin, pretty soon, we're going to be here for days. She's going to be having there's 38 questions. Okay, so this young lady's 26 to 35 from Canada. Hi, I am dating this guy. He recently asked me to move in with him, and I said no because I don't believe in living with a man before marriage. He was laid off for a while from a good job, but he recently got a new job in another city. I also applied for a job in that city, and I got hired. He told me that he sees himself being married to me, but he doesn't think it will happen anytime soon unless we live together for some time. He asked me again and seemed upset when again I said no. Fast forward 2 months ago, and I moved in with him. I am in a new city and lonely here without my family and close friends. I feel torn now that maybe I should not have moved in with him after 10 months, and I went against what I believe. What should I do? Move the fuck out. That's what. Okay, let me explain something to you. Oh my God. What the fuck do you women be thinking? Okay, you told the man no. See, this is exactly why men don't pay no attention when some women say no. This is it. I'm not saying what they're doing right. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is when you have too many women that say no, 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 and then they give in, what message are you sending? That you don't mean no. That's what you're saying. Okay, so it makes it difficult when you guys do this shit like this for men to really know that you mean no. So then women like me say no, hell no, fuck you no, and all that stuff, and they be all shocked and surprised because they not used to a woman have saying no and sticking to it. Okay, so let me big. This is the first thing that you guys have to do. If you're gonna say no to a motherfucker, keep saying it until the day you die. You don't compromise your morals and values after saying no. Just, I don't know, what did you do this for? And plus, you only knew him for 10 months anyway. What was the rush? Because he started talking that marriage shit? What is he doing to show you that he wanted to be married to you? Nothing but running his mouth. And there you are, believing it. Oh my God, you went against what you believe. So what you need to do is sit down with dude and, apply for some jobs back where you came from, okay, and go back where you came from and leave him in the new city where he got his job and then just go on with about your business because dude just wanted some live-in booty, so he dangled that marriage carrot out there and you bit. That motherfucker wasn't doing nothing to show you that I mean, what was he doing to prove that he wanted to be married to you? All he did was run his mouth and you fell for it and started doing what he wanted you to do without really, sticking to your guns. This is very disappointing. But that's what you need to do. Find you a job back where you came from, where your family and friends are, and then move your little ass back there and move out from him. And don't you ever live with a man again. You said you didn't want to, you don't believe in it, but then here you are doing it anyway. So it shows you do believe in it. You were just talking shit. And so no man's going to take you seriously when you say one thing and then you do another. Okay, that is the epitome of low self-esteem and just weakness. Just like, just weak. They ask you a couple of times, okay, all right, I guess it's all right. Yeah, he talked, yeah. All he did was talk. He talked about marriage. And you just went crazy. Motherfucker ain't broke out with no ring, ain't proposed, ain't saved up no money to put y'all in a house, ain't done shit but run his mouth. And then here you are just doing everything you said you wasn't going to do because he might want to talk about possibly in some day in the future marrying you. Yeah, the bar is already on the ground. It's on the ground. All right, this is from a woman, 26 to 35. God, everybody's in this age group. From Milpitas, California. My husband works from home while I go out of the house and work 8 hours a day. For those of you who are not in this area, Milpitas is near what's called the Silicon Valley, the San Jose area, the .com area of California. So he probably does something like that. So when I come home, I'm done. My work day is finished and I want to relax and leave my stress behind and concentrate on my home life. But my husband has long hours and when he comes downstairs from his office upstairs, he's bringing it with him. All the stress and angst he deals with daily. He usually stomps around, slamming doors, cursing and mumbling while I'm trying to decompress. He gets me uptight and also our 3 dogs who are very sensitive to his words and actions. I've asked him to leave his work upstairs, but it never lasts more than a couple of days before he brings it into the entire house again. I'm over it and not sure what to do. It's depressing me and it's affecting our sex life because I can't relax around him anymore. Any suggestions on how to handle this? He's very impatient and quick to snap if I become judgy with him and ask him to do anything. It's like asking a teenager to do something. Moody. Thanks, Deb. Okay, this is what you do. I know you guys have heard me say if they, throw a rock, you throw a boulder. If they want to, light a match, you shoot them with a flamethrower. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so you want to come home and be peace, but you can't do this. You have a game that you need to play here, and this is how you're gonna play it. He comes. Okay, make sure that when you first get home, before he even comes downstairs, put the dogs outside. And you got a backyard, or they got a kennel in the garage, someplace where they're not gonna be around while you run this game on your husband. Okay, so what you have to do with men when you want them to, you are going to set yourself as the leader in the mood setting department. So what you have to do is come into the house and you're gonna act just like he does. Okay, whatever way he acts, you're gonna mirror him. That's what this behavior technique is called. It's called mirroring. So he's gonna come downstairs ranting and raving. This is what you do. God damn it! Fucking shit! Every time I come in this goddamn house, all I have to hear is your fucking mouth all the time. Okay, he's gonna be like, what? What? See, because usually you be like, oh, honey, stop. Oh, you just make all this noise. It just upsets me. Nah, you gonna pick up some shit and throw it at him. Beat your hand on the table. Fucking shit. Okay, just go crazy. Just act a complete fool. Rant and rave and scream and do everything like he does. Walk around mumbling and kicking shit. Just act a complete fool, right? He is going to be so stunned. He's going to be like, what the fuck? And then he's going to be like, honey, calm down. It's not like that. Just, honey, take a deep breath, this and that. Okay, so then he's going to be doing what you want to do, which is be calm. Men are so easy. I don't know why y'all don't know how to handle these dudes. That's all you have to do. You mirror his behavior, and anytime he does that shit in the future, you do the exact same thing. If he's calm, then you be calm. If he comes down the stairs acting a fool, the first word he says is something fucked up, pick up something and throw it. And he'll immediately calm down because he'll see that you ain't going to take that shit. But like I said, the dogs aren't a part of it, so make sure you get them out. You got to do the part first. Put them somewhere where they're not gonna, they might hear it because dogs have wonderful hearing. They're gonna hear it, but they're not gonna see it, and they're not gonna see, they're gonna perceive it as violence. They're not gonna see it. So you're gonna throw some shit at his ass and stomp, beat your hand on something, and just act a complete fool. Get up in his face, just ranting and raving, cussing and screaming, and he's just gonna be so stunned he's not gonna know what to do. That's how you handle a man like that, and he will quickly shut that shit down. He don't. He won't. He just doing that because he can get away with it. Let him get away with that shit, talking to you all kinds of crazy. Because nobody can talk crazier than Deborah Cooper. I'm telling you, I don't know where it comes from my 5'5" ass, but I can act a complete fool. Yep. That's what you do. You know, that's how you do it. And he'll be like, so trying to console you, and he'll forget all about the fact that he's mad. He'll be like, damn, she must have really had a bad day. I guess I better leave her alone and be quiet tonight. Little knucklehead. Yeah, don't be asking him to do shit. And just like, while ran around and say, every time I come home from work, I got to deal with all these fucking dishes in the sink. You don't do shit all fucking day. And the first I walk in the door, the first thing you want to do is start bitching and moaning and complaining. God damn it. And then get his ass a gym membership. When his birthday or Christmas or something, he needs some kind of stress reliever. And you sit his ass on that treadmill and let him run 20 miles. He'll be all right. Probably need to lose some weight and get in shape anyway. Question number 10. This is from a woman, 26 to 35, from Queens, New York. I'm a 30-year-old black woman. I have always been the single friend in the group. I never had a steady boyfriend. My, quote, relationships were so bad that it looked like I had an imaginary boyfriend. Friends tried to hook me up with their male friends, but it never went past exchanging phone numbers. I was engaged once, but the dude was engaged with someone else for their papers at the same time as me. It got to a point where I decided to go to therapy. Okay. My therapist told me I have depression and explained it's not me, it is the men I'm choosing to date. He explains due to not feeling like I am enough, it reflects into my romantic life. With that being said, I'm writing to you for advice in dating overall. I've abstained from sex until I find the right guy, and it has been over a year thus far. I got a Google number, and I'm a part of a nonprofit organization. I hang out with sorors when I can. I go on vacations when I can. Is there anything else I can do? Yes, because and I'm really kind of I don't know if you just left this out or if this is where it ended. So I'm hesitant to put too much responsibility on dude, but it seems like since you were talking about him, if he had given you some suggestions, you wouldn't be writing me. So I'm pretty confident in putting this adding this in here. So he's telling you all the stuff that's wrong with you, but did he tell you what to do about it? Okay, so you're depressed and feeling like you're not good enough. Okay, but what is he doing to help you change that? So he just says, "Yep, that's what's wrong with you. Bye bye." I mean, what? See, because you turn around and say, "But with that said, I'm writing you." So I'm like, okay, but so he told you he just diagnosed it, but he didn't help you fix the problem. That's kind of interesting. Um, Feeling like you're not good enough. I can tell you what worked for a lot of women that when I worked as a trainer, they had this problem. And what I noticed is that as women got stronger physically, they seemed to get stronger mentally and emotionally. They started to speak up, be more assertive. They started to ask for what they needed from people. They started to try new things and go new places and do things that they never really had the nerve to do before. Um, Hanging out with your sorors is good. I mean, you get out, but I mean, do you guys go places where you can meet men, or you just go places where you guys are just having a good time? Events for your sorority. That's not necessarily two in the same thing. Do when you go on vacations, do you go to singles resorts where you can meet people and hang out? I mean, what do you do on these vacations? It's kind of vague. And I would suggest that you start with a good exercise program because that also helps with the depression. And like I said, as you get stronger, you're going to start with something like use the machines at the gym, and then get you a trainer and start doing some free weights. Body weight exercises and free weight exercises. You'll feel stronger. You'll feel good. You'll see changes in your body, and that kind of intense exercise promotes the production of endorphins, which will make you feel better too. It helps alleviate depression versus just sitting around feeling sorry for yourself and wondering what you should do. So start with that, okay? Start with that. That'll probably take you, I don't know, usually about 6 weeks or so. People can, if they're consistent and don't eat like donuts and cookies and stuff, you can see some pretty remarkable changes in as little as 6 weeks with a consistent cardio and weight training program. If women lose a whole dress size, they might not lose 1 pound on the scale, but their body fat is reduced, and so they lose a whole dress size because they replace that blubbery fat with solid muscle. So they're smaller, even though they haven't changed their weight necessarily. So that's something that you need to think about. For me, that would be where I start. You're only 30 years old. You got plenty of time to make all these changes. But if you still see this particular shrink, be sure to ask him for some suggestions. I mean, just telling you you're depressed. Okay, but what you gonna do about it? Give me some solutions to these problems. Don't just I'm not just paying you to diagnose me, then just sit there and look at me. But that's what I find. Like I've worked as a trainer for almost 13 years, and I still do stuff for people here and there, on the side. But I've seen some remarkable changes in hundreds of women over throughout my career with with a solid exercise, cardio, and weight training program. So start there and tell me how you feel. Write me back in about 4 months or so, and then we'll look at step two. All right. Yeah, getting off social media definitely helps. But getting out. I mean, she's so young. Getting out at the gym, she might meet something. She starts changing herself and hitting them that steel and shit. Next thing you know, here comes some little dude over there. Shoot. Let me show you how to do that exercise. Or you need a new exercise for your back, and then you be like, yeah, I'm new at the gym. I don't really know how to do this stuff, so thank you. And next thing you know, you got you a boyfriend. So, just change your environment, start there, seriously. Start there and your world will change. Trust me. Question number 11. This is from a woman, 19 to 26. 3 months after my breakup, I still feel so hurt. Even though I'm the one who broke up with him, it hasn't made moving on easy at all. I broke up with him initially to give him some days to reflect and to start acting on promises he kept avoiding. In the end, his actions after a few days after the breakup hurt me more and made me realize that he was going about our relationship the wrong way. So even though I broke up with him, it was because I thought things could work out. So the first month of the breakup was manageable, but then we went no contact. It's been just over 2 months since then. The second month into breakup, I was really realizing it was over, and I felt so hurt with how everything fell apart. Through someone else's account, I saw his social networking profile after giving in and saw he had posted up a photo of himself with another girl, and they had sent flirty comments to each other. I broke down that whole week. I cried for 2 days. And since then, I've been feeling more tired, lost my appetite a bit. Even though I don't know what his and that girl have going on, it just hurts to remember that he is hanging around with someone else. Since a few days ago, I've been feeling like I haven't really made progress. I miss him a lot, but I don't want to go back. Yet I still care for him deeply. I get the urge to unblock him and contact or call him. This hurts so much. I can't even talk to anyone about it because I don't really have close friends and I don't feel comfortable talking openly about things like this to family. And she put in parentheses, it's complicated. I cry for him every other day. I just feel so confused. It sort of feels as though the more the weeks go by, the worse I feel when I should be making progress. Okay, this is when we need to evoke the slap technique. Take this hand, draw back as far as you can, and flap yourself until you snap out of this stupid state that you're in. You broke up with him because the relationship was fucked up and stupid. Okay, you admit that in the first paragraph. He was going about your relationship the wrong way. You didn't like how the relationship was. That's why you ended it. But now you want to be like you in a Harlequin romance novel or some shit, pining over some motherfucker that was stupid and that didn't treat you right. And you think you're going to get some sympathy here? You wrote to the wrong person if that's what you thought. I don't care to hear this. Okay, you broke up with him. That was what you were supposed to do. But now you on this pity party, having this pity party, thinking that somebody's going to be feeling sorry for you and telling you all kind of nice stuff. I'm not going to tell you shit. You should have been looking on the social media page. Don't you understand what no contact means? That means you no contact. That doesn't mean you lie and cheat and slide through the back door to try to have undercover contact either. That's what that means. You lost your appetite. You just being too fucking dramatic and cried for a whole week about some motherfucker that wasn't even treating you right. You wasting your tears. You wasting your time. You 19 to 26. I don't know what part of that in, but you too old for this shit. This is some little teenage, little 14, 13-year-old girl shit. You damn near, you a grown ass woman. Get your shit together. You be sitting around crying over some motherfucker that dogged you out and then wasting my time writing me talk thinking I'm going to be sympathetic. If you were in my face, I'd be kicking your ass right about now. That's what I would be doing. Question number 12. Female, 19 to 26 from Los Angeles. How do I show a man that I've been dating for 6 months by my actions that I will not tolerate subpar treatment from him? He is going through tough times with money and personal survival, and our dates are more rare now. Until last month, we were seeing each other 1 or 2 times during the week, and we spent every weekend together. He only calls to make plans for our dates, and I hardly ever hear from him in between. We have an agreement that our relationship is exclusive. I've been arguing that his problems are just an excuse, and that when there is a will, there's a way to meet up more often. What should I do? Dump him. He just around to fuck you. God damn. I mean, what? You don't see that? And you're in the 19 to 26 age group, you don't hear from him. He calls you for a date. That means he calls you for some ass, right? Because you see each other, you know it ends with some booty. Come on now, I'm not dumb. I can read it between the lines. He going through some rough times with money and personal survival. That's what niggas do. That's the song they sing when they don't want to spend no money on you. They just want to have some real Mickey Mouse little date and then end with some ass. That's the standard issue bullshit ass game that they run. And here you are falling for it. You only been dealing with it for 6 months, so what's the problem? Just cut him loose. Say, that's not the kind of thing I had in mind when I started talking about a relationship and talking about he's being exclusive. You're being exclusive. That's what's happening right there. You're being exclusive, and you waiting around for this man and thinking that you have a relationship that you don't have. You just a booty call. Move on. I mean, I'm just saying, they be asking, oh, they be asking these questions, and I'm just like in awe. Like, what are you doing? What is all of this wrestling and jumping around and stuff trying to save a relationship with somebody you only been dealing with? I mean, okay, the fact that, he's been doing all this lately, so that means that you probably had about, okay, until last month we were seeing each other 1 or 2 times a week. And you spent every weekend together. Okay, so that means you had 5 months of a pretty good situation and now it's fucked up. Okay, well then now it's time to break up. I mean, what do you want from me? He's not giving you the kind of relationship that you want. That's when you leave. It's very clear. Oh, what is this? Okay. That was a beginning letter. I mixed it in with the bit the front with the end. Okay. Female, no age. Hmm. USA. Dear Deb, I'm currently listening to your video. I currently listen to your video, reader, shut up, on addiction to toxic relationships. When I hear you say some women go looking for dusty ass niggas, for instance, in prison, I had to stop the tape and write you. I request advice regarding this situation, please. I have a beautiful 33-year-old daughter with a 9-year-old son whom I am very certain is, quote, dating a convicted child molester. Oh, this letter. This dude is a grade school friend of hers. I figure he's gotten caught in her. He was gotten into her head talking some dumb shit, and she's caught up in his garbage. This situation is eating me up inside. Just to be on the honest side, my cousin sent. This is the letter. I didn't know she was gonna put it back in the column though. My cousin sent me this letter because she thought it was like a crisis, that needed like an immediate response. So I sent the lady like one paragraph. I guess. Oh yeah, I did say I was gonna say more. Okay, my bad. Um, so this one I did see, but I forgot about it. So she's dude's a grade school friend of hers. She's gotten into the situation eating me up inside. My struggle is this. I don't know quite how to approach her about this, but one thing I do know that is as her mother, I must talk to her about this bullshit. To provide more context, in my family, we have a fucked up pattern of not talking about big ass pink elephants waltzing through the living room. I really want to go off on her, but I know if I do, I could jeopardize any chance of me getting through to her. I have been preparing myself for about 3 months to talk to her. What do you suggest? Thanks in advance. Um, okay, so first of all, I was, I mean, I know, okay, I had mixed feelings about this. On one, I was definitely, glad that she wrote. I was glad that she saw that there was some risk and, that she wanted to take some action to kind of intervene on behalf of her grandson. What disturbed me was that you let the shit go on for 3 months. Okay, so whatever molesting or some of that, it's already happened. Okay, while you were sitting there trying to decide how you was gonna say it, you don't worry about how your daughter feels. You worry about protecting your grandson. So your concern was in the wrong spot. It's not about getting her to listen. You don't give a fuck if she listens because you have the law on your side. So the first thing I told her to do was to call the Department of Corrections with this dude's name and say that you have concerns because you understand that he was convicted for child molesting and that he's around your 9-year-old grandson and you want to find out if part of his sentencing and or parole release was based upon him not being around minor children. 99.9% of the time that is the case, in which case if he is paroled based on that and he violated that term of his parole, his ass will be picked right up and he will go right back to prison to complete the rest of his sentence. Okay, so that's the end of discussion. You don't need to talk to your daughter. You just make that phone call and motherfuckers picked up and that's the end of him and for however long he still has on his sentence. Now, the thing that was so disturbing to me is that you have this history about dude and you haven't said anything to him nor to your daughter. That maybe it's just me, but I wouldn't really give a fuck about my daughter's feelings in a situation like this. I would just go over there and tell them both. It's like, look, I know that your ass is into fucking with kids, and I'm telling you right now, if just let me find out you did something to my grandson, motherfucker, your ass is mine. You're dead. And I don't give a fuck if I have to sit down the rest of my life. As long as your ass is 6 feet under, that's a good fucking day for me. Because he just thinks, no, when dudes get around situations where it's like women and there's no man around, they think they can just do whatever the fuck they want to. And they don't understand, it's some women that have an attitude just as bad, if not worse, than any man. And they will kill your ass, and it just will be that. There's a whole bunch of women in prison that's killed men, and more every day. Because they not, just not taking the shit from men like they used to. This is your grandson. He's a baby. He can't defend himself. So it's up to you to do something. But that's my first thing is make that phone call. Drop, as I used to say, drop that dime and find out what the real story is with this dude. Because, like I said, this problem could be resolved just with that one phone call. You'll never know though unless you take that step. And the next thing you do is, you're gonna have to be brave and pull your daughter over, invite her to lunch or something, and sit her down and say, "Look, I understand this is what's going on with this dude, and don't you know that he's grooming you?" That's what child molesters do. They gain your trust, and then they do that so that you'll leave him and let him babysit your son, let him spend the night and everything. Then you wake up, he disappeared off in the sun room with your son. All kind of fabulous shit. He want to take your son place to do something, bathe with your son, go swimming with your son, so he has to help him change his clothes. All kind of stuff like that, so he gets to see your son naked and touch his body, or worse. So your daughter's dumb, and I really wish that you weren't so afraid of hurting her feelings, was more concerned about the safety of your grandson. Yep, definitely. That's why you got to call and see what the real deal is. I mean, I guess in some places they have it where you can look it up online. If she knows dude's birth date and stuff, she could do it herself. But if not, just call the Department of Corrections and explain the situation. They have computers. They'll look the shit up. You don't need to have all that information. Just give them his name and give him his approximate age, where he went to school. I mean, they have records of that. They can cross reference and cross check, and they'll pull up the right person. And you let you know. You tell him he's around my 9-year-old grandson, and I don't feel my grandchild safe around this guy. He's a known child molester, and just report his ass. Question number 14. Normally this would be the end, but it's not. We have one more after this. This is a guy. Isn't this the first guy all day? For a change, 26 to 35 from Philly. Me and my girlfriend have been together for 3 years. We were both 34. So some guy I say hi and bye to that lives in my building stares at my girlfriend every time we're in the elevator together. My apartment building has 13 floors and I live on the 6th. He lives on the 7th. He's an older dude in his mid-50s, I guess. Every time we on the elevator together, he will speak to me and ask how my parents is doing, but stare at my girlfriend half the elevator ride at the same time. He had stopped doing it for a while because he got a younger girlfriend recently, but today he did it once again. My girlfriend said she didn't notice because she doesn't pay attention to him or anyone in my building. I'm trying to decide if I should say something to him about it or just ignore it. I know if I say something about it, it may cause a fight. I'm not trying to fight over the situation, but I am upset about it. Another thing I'm going to mention is that he got into a fight with another guy in my building named Craig last year. I don't know the whole story, but Craig accused him of wanting his girl. The guy told him that he doesn't want his girl. Craig decided to hit him anyway and lost the fight. Craig, I mean. Craig gonna open his mouth and try to jump bad with somebody that can't even fight. Another thing, this same guy I'm talking about also has cancer. How convenient. Well, young man, what you can do. So I'm assuming y'all get on the elevator on the ground floor, or he's on the elevator when it comes down to the 6th floor. In both instances, you have the option. If you in the elevator and he come and get on the elevator, get off the elevator. Let him go up the elevator by himself. When he comes down the elevator and you up there when your girl is over there waiting, then just stay there and say, we'll take a separate elevator and let him go on downstairs and you all just wait for another elevator. That's another way to avoid it. What's it going to take you, another minute or two? Y'all ass going to, ain't going to drive and blow away if you wait. That keeps him from being able to stare at your girlfriend on the elevator. But if it's that important to you, then what you could do is take this approach here. You don't come at him like that. You say, man, I need to talk to you about something. My lady mentioned to me, and you got to tell her so she can play along, that, she feels a little uncomfortable when we're in the elevator together because you stare at her a lot. Dude, I'm asking you, please not to do that because it's making my girl feel, like creepy and shit. And I don't like her feeling like that. So, just do me that favor. And then what I can offer, if we see you on the elevator first, we'll just wait for another one and stuff. But, if you just have to get on the elevator, you have to be on the same elevator. Just please don't stare at her like that, like the whole time. It just makes her feel really upset. Can we get that agreement, my brother? That kind of thing. I mean, you use your own words, but um, he's an old cat. His ass gonna die anyway. Shit. If he gets all fucked up about it, just tell him I heard your ass is gonna die of cancer anyway, motherfucker. So I guess you need to look while you can before you look like a fucking crypt keeper. I mean, I don't care about stuff. I just hurt people's feelings. All right, question number 15, the last one. Female 26 to 35 from Dallas. These days, maybe marriage isn't necessary, or I'm fine thinking women don't need to have kids. Because, well, some people aren't fit to be parents, but it drives me insane when some women make public announcements saying that they don't need a man. For example, this 30-year-old coworker is constantly making posts talking about how men are scum, how gross it is to be in a relationship, that she's a big shot because she's bought a house all by herself without a man. That's great and all, but in all seriousness, everyone needs someone. We all need that human affection like cuddling, holding hands, and a human touch. I can say that I don't need a man only because I'm single and my dating life is at a standstill. Why lie to yourself about not wanting a man? I want to fall in love. I want to find a great man someday. I don't know why she's such a man hater, just seeing she might be insecure about not having anyone, and she put a question mark. Okay, first of all, please do not write my column with stupid bitch shit. Okay, one thing I hate is when people take their feelings, okay, your needs, your desires for a man, and your desire to be, up under somebody, and your desire for all this stuff and put it on somebody else. Like if they don't believe the way that you do, and they don't have the needs that you do, that something's wrong with them. Maybe something's wrong with you, that you need all this stuff. You know what I mean? I can look at it from both angles. It's nice that you want all that, but it's also nice for people who don't. And there's people who are gay, and there's people, lesbian, and there's people who have other, things going on. People who have been in abusive relationships. There is kind of a rap for them. That doesn't mean they hate it, but they definitely don't feel the need to be back in any situation where that kind of risk may present itself. There's people who, just really aren't that interested in sex anymore. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about doing a show on this. I found an article that I had pulled today, and it says the share of Americans not having sex has reached a record high. And it's because of young people. It's not because of, middle-aged millennials, middle-aged baby boomers and all that stuff. It's young people that have dropped the thing. So I thought that was a pretty interesting thing that we might want to talk about. So, you also have to consider this, young lady. People get love and affection and consideration and companionship and someone to listen to them and someone to console them and someone to laugh and have fun with outside of a dick. Okay? It don't have to come from a man. That's why women have friends. We have family. Okay, did you forget about that? You think the only option for a woman to get the things that you talked about is from some motherfucking man? Like we don't have no other option, nothing else going on in our life. It got to come from a relationship. That's very small-minded, and you got that like mammy. What's that thing called? That pick-me attitude. Okay, she's 30 years old. She's bought herself a fucking house by herself. That is amazing fucking accomplishment for a 30-year-old. Whether it's male or female, that's a standing ovation kind of shit. You know? That means she's got her shit together. She deserves to be proud of herself. And if she decides that she doesn't want to need a man, then that's her business. It's not your concern. What she does with her time and her money and her body, it's not your business. Um, yeah, this is what you want to fall in love with. You want to find a great man. Well, that's good for you. And because she doesn't, that doesn't mean that she's an awful person. You don't know that woman's story. Maybe she's been needed. She saw her mother needing men, and her mother get abused and beating her ass beaten. And maybe the girl got molested by the mother's boyfriend because the mother was so needy and always had a string of different men up in the house. And the girl vowed to never be like that. There's all kind of reasons why people make the decisions that they do in their life. We are not here to judge them. We are here to listen and learn. Because everybody ain't walking the same path. Okay? They gonna walk their road and you can walk beside them maybe some of the time or maybe for a long time, maybe not at all. But it's for you to sit there and judge what her desires are and how she fulfills herself because she wants to fulfill herself in a way different from you. That's some you on some bullshit right now. And that's the end of that. You know. Yeah, I'm just trying to say, 30 years old and she done bought herself a house already. I don't know. I mean, my brothers did, but I didn't. Not at 30. I'm too busy bullshitting around. Not my brothers was on it, but I was just like, oh, I want to go to Canada. I want to go to Mexico for 2 weeks. So, I did other shit with my money. I wasn't like them. They were very, narrow. I'm like all over the place. But that's the good thing about being a little sister. You can do that. And then when you spend all your money, you just go to your brothers and say, I'm broke. And they be like, you spent all money? Yes. And they give you some more. But what can I say? So that's our column for today. Oh my God, I'm exhausted. These were some interesting characters today. But you know what? This was closing out What the Fuck Tuesday. For those of you who dropped in, thank you for coming. We're here every Tuesday. This is what we do. We read advice letters and then we just roll our eyes and get stressed out. And sometimes we laugh and then we get stressed out again. And then we sit there and go, what the hell was that? A lot. That's how this became called What the Fuck. Because it used to be, what was it called? Tell It Tuesday. It used to be called Tell It Tuesday because people told me their business and then I told them, about themselves, right? So Tell It Tuesday. But we all kept saying, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was she thinking? What the fuck was they thinking when they was doing that? So we use that phrase so much to change the name of the show to What the Fuck Tuesday, and it seems it's perfect. It fits. And for a surprise, and we're not going to be here Thursday this week. Usually I do live streams Tuesday and Thursday. Tomorrow we have our guest in, and we're going to be talking about manhood. So those of you from two perspectives. One is talking about the manhood as it stands now in 2019. What does it mean for the young guys who growing up with no father? Nobody's really explained manhood to them. There's like masculinity, and there's this rage against women. There's a lot going on with manhood and masculinity now. I mean, some dudes don't want to be men at all. They decide they want to be women. I mean, it's all a lot going on with dudes. Okay, and then from the other perspective, I'm gonna try to delve into what masculinity means to young women who grew up in a situation where they had an absent or no father figure at all, where their idea of what a masculine man is a little skewed as well, because they think, a lot of them, that they need to take care of a man and uplift him and support him and baby him and all this kind of stuff. So they end up with these really weak dudes that are no kind of way they want to talk about, this my man, but he ain't nobody's man. He's just a big kid, a 6 foot tall child. That's what they have. So we're going to be kind of exploring all of these different things and taking a look at what masculinity and manhood is in 2019, and that's going to be tomorrow. So please come on back and sit in with us tomorrow. We're going to get started at 5:30 p.m., half an hour earlier than I usually start, in honor of my guest. And bring your questions if you have some about manhood and stuff. We'll be taking some answers as we move through the show. This is Deb Cooper from survivingdating.com. Thank you everyone for coming in and sitting in with me tonight. I will see you tomorrow. Be here 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, sharp. Bye bye.